In the depths of the Great Depression, while America struggled for crumbs, one man commanded the headlines and the imagination of a downtrodden nation: John Dillinger. By early 1934, he was more than a bank robber. He was a celebrity outlaw, a phantom who ran rings around the nascent Federal Bureau of Investigation, and a symbol of rebellion against a system many felt had failed them. His capture in Tucson, Arizona, and subsequent extradition to Crown Point, Indiana, in March of 1934, was meant to be the final chapter of his criminal career. The people of Indiana demanded justice, and authorities assured them they had the ultimate insurance policy. The Lake County Jail in Crown Point was a fortress, boasted by its sheriff as escape-proof. To emphasize this guarantee, they brought in National Guard troops, reinforced the facility, and placed Dillinger under the highest security imaginable. The pressure on the local officials was immense. They knew if Dillinger escaped, their careers and reputations would be destroyed. Dillinger himself, calm and almost jovial in his confinement, seemed utterly unconcerned by the death penalty that awaited him. He knew a public show of force meant a lapse in vigilance, and he planned to exploit the certainty of his captors. The exact origin of the object remains a source of historical debate, but the undeniable fact is that John Dillinger acquired a tool unlike any other ever used in a prison breakout: a wooden gun. Painstakingly crafted, some accounts say from a piece of a washboard, others from a plank of wood smuggled in. He shaped it with careful precision. He stained it with shoe polish, smoothed it, giving it the terrifying, unmistakable silhouette of a real automatic pistol. It was a bluff, a piece of theater, but in the hands of the most charismatic and dangerous man in America, it was the only weapon he would need. The escape occurred on March 3, 1934. Dillinger, ever the actor, waited until the early morning hours, when the atmosphere was quiet, the guards complacent. He emerged from his cell, the wooden pistol concealed until the perfect moment. With a sudden explosive command, he pressed the blunt end of his crude prop against the side of a guard. The guard, looking down the barrel of what appeared to be certain death, froze. The wooden gun had done its work. Using the terrified guard as a human shield, Dillinger demanded keys and marched toward the main floor, taking several officers hostage along the way. His demand was simple: a car. The panic in the jail was instant and complete. With his hostages in tow, he made his way outside, forcing Sheriff Lillian Hawley's deputy to open the gates. Rather than running off into the countryside on foot, Dillinger commandeered the most symbolic vehicle available: Sheriff Hawley's brand-new high-powered 8-cylinder Ford V8 sedan. With 2 hostages jammed into the car, Dillinger tore out of the Crown Point lot and sped toward freedom. He drove the terrified group into Illinois before releasing them unharmed, a final flourish of his theatrical style. The humiliation of Crown Point was catastrophic. The boast of an escape-proof jail had become the punchline of every national newspaper. Authorities were mocked mercilessly, and Sheriff Hawley was soon replaced. But Dillinger's choice of getaway vehicle had a consequence far greater than simple embarrassment. By stealing the car and crossing the state line into Illinois, Dillinger committed a federal offense, transporting a stolen vehicle across state lines, which brought the full terrifying might of the FBI. This single brazen act escalated the pursuit from local police and small-time rewards to a national manhunt orchestrated by a determined, unforgiving federal agency. The escape from Crown Point was the most daring moment of John Dillinger's career, but by making himself a direct enemy of the federal government, it was also the first definitive step toward his violent end just 4 months later. His escape cemented his legend, but it simultaneously signed his death warrant. So the man who laughed in the face of the escape-proof jail and defied state authorities was quickly overwhelmed by the massive, unforgiving power of the FBI. That wooden gun didn't just buy John Dillinger a few months of freedom. It sealed his fate by turning a state matter into the most intense national manhunt of the Depression era. If you want to know the whole story, you need to know the man who finally tracked him down. Click on the video you see on your screen now for the untold history of Frank Hamer, the Texas Ranger who hunted and killed the Barrow Gang and whose next target was Dillinger. If you enjoyed diving deep into this piece of forgotten history, please like this video and subscribe to the Short Historical. It helps us keep digging up these incredible true stories.